Hello, welcome to the Playful Enchantress. This is going to be our second group reading, collective reading for our home and life care. A little bit about me. My name is Leah Spinrad. I am an energy worker. I am a 30-year practicing witch. I am a pagan, and I've been a residential services cleaning manager. I've been a flower essences bottling shipping manager. I have been a stay-at-home mom. I've been a work-at-home mom. I've been a work-away-from-home mom. I've been a massage therapist for 20 years and an energy worker for 25 years officially, but probably longer. I am here to help us all collectively take better care of our homes and ourselves so that we are not bogged down by the responsibilities of home care and life care, because we are worth so much more than our ability to perform labor in our homes. And if we systematize and strategize and create homes that are working for us instead of against us, we are so much freer, so much more ready to tackle the things that are going on in our lives outside of the home that we really would rather be focusing on. And if we have kids or other people under our care, we can really focus on that as well. So this is where I am going to start sharing information and knowledge through what's coming up per week. So I'm not making a structured course or a structured, outline of where we're going to go, but I do talk about finance. I talk about home management. I talk about decluttering. I talk about cleaning strategies. I talk about meal planning. I talk about simplifying your family life and schedule so that it works for you. I talk about labor sharing with your family and the people that you live with. I talk about all of it, and from here, in this weekly reading, I start with these amazing cards. These are playing cards. Whoop, we got one upside down. I don't read upside down ones in these because I'm really just using this imagery to get me going on an intuitive level. So I'm going to pull a card, and then the intuitive knowledge is going to come through. It's going to be kind of like a live channeling. My guides are going to step in. Maybe one of your guides will step in because that's what it's like. So we are going to start with the shuffle, the shuffle, the shuffle. This is my second time recording. I recorded yesterday and I did a whole reading, but I was so nervous that the people outside who are working on the exterior of our house were going to start working that I rushed through the whole thing, and I watched it back and I was like, that's not pleasant to watch. So we're redoing it today, which is fun because we'll get a whole new card and it'll be a whole new information for everyone. Last week we did the wind cape. That was what I pulled. And for us in our house, it was so apt because we're in our house normal, or trying to be normal, and the outside of our house is all getting ripped off and put back on and all sorts of things that are really necessary but absolutely disruptive to us inside. And I'm so glad to have the siding get done. There was a while I thought I was going to do it myself, and I kept trying to get up on the roof to start up on the dormer and getting terrified. I was harnessed up. It was everything that I was doing right, and I was like, I can't do this. So I sucked it up and hired somebody to do it, which is fine, but I would love to bite off more than I can chew any given day. This is for the collective, for anybody who's going to see this. And if they don't resonate with the card, hopefully they'll get something from what more comes through after. Excellent, thank you. I'm just free picking, so I'm like rifling through. Oh gosh, that's exciting. Okay. This is beautiful, isn't it? It's Terra Incognita, the Ace of Spades. Everyone knows Ace of Spades for death because of like movies and things. Ace of Spades. Aces are very strong in playing cards, and the spades are earth. So we're looking with a very strong earth energy. So yes, it's the death card, but it's also just a very strong earth energy coming through like a force of nature. This is an awesome card to get right now. at the start of this type of thing, which is funny because we're talking, death is usually the ending, but it's also once something ends, something else can start. So we've got death here. We've got the Ace of Spades. I'm going to stop calling it death because it's coming through a little differently right now than it would maybe for a person, with like letting go of something. But I'm thinking, here we are. We're in the third week of January. We have a new moon coming up on Sunday. We're going to be doing a little bit of a restructuring in our relationships this coming week due to the astrology that's going on. And outside, there's a lot of restructuring that we need to see, at least from the US perspective, with the government, because, it's real bad. It's real bad out there. So let's turn our attention to our homes and to our schedules, and this is showing me cutting it away and letting go so that we can orient what we want. We want to get crystal clear on how we want our homes to feel and just ruthlessly allow the things that are standing in our way to be let go of. So what I'm thinking here, I'm imagining I see myself in someone's very cluttered kitchen. That's their entryway. Maybe this is you and I'm talking to you. But I see almost like the lights aren't working. And we open the door and there's just things everywhere. The clutter is extreme. You're walking in and your dream is to like cook for your family and have a really pleasant after work experience, but you come home and your heart sinks because this is just killing you slowly. Like this experience is just draining the life out of you. And you are completely capable of taking this over and redoing it. No matter how many times you have tried and failed, you are capable of changing this experience and allowing ourselves to be strong, rooted, and get past or get over or climb a mountain to a place where our homes are serving us is completely possible. And we have this energy of terra incognita, of like the deepest earth to strengthen us and help us out with this. So what I want you to imagine is if your kitchen or your entryway, the place you enter your home is what I'm seeing, is just the second you get into your house, you're just like, whoa, shoot, this sucks. I hate coming home to this. Let's start there. Aces, beginnings. Let's start here. Walk into your home, pick one door. We have two doors in our house. We don't really walk in and out the back door as like an entryway. So our entryway is the front door. It's very small space and it gets very overwhelming very fast because it's so small. And there are 4 people in our house, 2 of whom are children, and the other 2 are very messy. Just messy people. We're messy people all over the place. So for us, the amount of things we can handle in our house and keep our house clean and tidy and picked up is very small. We're not minimalists, but I always say I'm an aspiring minimalist because that gets the message across that I don't want more than I can handle. And that amount is actually very small. So we only have 2 pairs of shoes each in that space. That space only can hold a regular pair of shoes and your winter boots. When the winter boots are out of there, it's a little bit cleaner, but then we still have rain boots coming in and out. We live in Maine. It gets muddy all the time. It gets wintry. We need care. We need gear. We have a lot of gear to manage in this very small space. And it's very easy for that space to end up feeling awful because you have the recycling that needs to go out the front door. You have the packages that might be coming into the front door. You have the kids coming in and out and dropping their coats and dropping their mittens and dropping their coats, their backpacks, and everything's just kind of like a mess. And then you end up with this teeny tiny pathway to walk through. And we have the systems in place of what's supposed to go where. Everything has a home there, but it doesn't end up in its home. And it takes some time to put it away. Not a lot of time. It only takes 5 minutes or less. And the goal with any of my spaces in my home is that it's always 5 to 10 minutes away from being picked up and put away. If it's more than 5 minutes of being able to be managed, that means that I have too many things in that space, or things don't have homes. And that is my litmus test for whether or not I am living above my clutter threshold, as Dana K. White has coined it, or the inventory I can manage. So I want you to imagine walking into your entryway space. It might be your kitchen, it might be your living room, and then your task is a little heavier than like mine, which is like a really small space. But then if I imagine I can see straight through to the kitchen. So like that kitchen area getting cluttered, which it often does, can also bring the energy down when you enter the home. So start in your most depressing entryway and ask yourself, can I make this 5 minutes better? And you're going to spend 5 minutes, you're going to make it 5 minutes better. And every day this week, let's ground in to how we want things to be. Say, I am a person with a clean entryway. I have a clean entryway. And then when you walk in and you're like, oh, my kitchen or entry, whatever entryway is very messy, then you can say, okay, as a person with a clean entryway, what's the first step? That's one way to do it. The second way to do it, if you've never ever experienced this before, having a clean space, I want you to just start with a trash bag and look for the trash in that space. And I'm sure there's plenty, because that's always what ends up making things feel wild in my house, is that just there's trash. And some of that trash is just things that came into the house that I didn't ask for, that are like toys from the goodie bags from parties, art that the kids have made at school that's not like art that they really worked on, but like coloring pages, things like that. And I save their art in a very specific way. I have a very specific way of managing their art, and my daughter is a prolific artist, and my son is starting to get there too. So I really need to manage art. And so my son's kindergarten or first grade will send a thick folder every Friday of all the work he's done all week. And I'll sit there and I'll open it up and I'll go, okay, what in here is something that I want to record, and what's just, they're sending this home so I can look at it and like see what his progress is. So I look through it all. Anything that's cute, my husband looks through it. And then I save the things I'm going to save for later picture taking. And then about once a month or so, I take pictures of all the art that they've made for that month that is worth taking pictures of, all of it. Then I take the few things that are like amazing, that they either worked really hard on or have some kind of like special thing, like the first time that they colored in the lines, or the first time that they started doing, like the first time my son starts making straight lines is going to be like a big deal, and we're going to save that art because that's huge for him. So that type of thing will get saved in a small box, and the other stuff I take pictures of and then I get rid of it. I always laugh because my daughter is a prolific artist and she wants to be an artist, and that sometimes I'm like, I can't believe I'm recycling her juvenilia, but I cannot save it all because I would be drowning in art. So that's how I deal with that. And then there's other things that come into the house that I like need to kind of put away for a little bit, see if anybody cares about it. I have my own methods, but what I want you to do is really be ruthless about what trash is. And then the second step, this is Dana K. White's 5-step decluttering process, just so you know. If you want more information about how to do this, like go over to her pages because she's great at explaining. But you're going to start with finding trash and things that you're like, oh, I needed to bring that to the donation center. If there's a box in your entryway that's for donations, get it out. Get it out of your house, because that's like the point, right? Like, you were going to donate it. And if it's been there for 5 months and it's still not donated, you can't throw it away. I know it's hard, but you really can do it. So we'll talk more about that in another week. But this is where I'm seeing us shedding, getting really clear on what we want our spaces to be. Take a few minutes, visualize what you really want your space to be, and allow that to inform what you need to do. Getting rid of trash, taking things out that are broken, that you no longer are using, that you used to use but you don't. Don't go crazy. You're not gonna, if the space is really overwhelming, you're not gonna get it done this week, but let's make a start. Let's make a start. And anything that doesn't have a home, that's out on your counter all the time because you don't know where to put it, let's make a home for it. Make a home by finding an object that is clearly homeless and saying, if I needed this, where would I look for it first? And I have two things that I see in my peripheral vision that are going to be so great for explaining this. So I have a dead battery just sitting on my nightstand. If I pick this up and I go, okay, where would I look for a dead battery? Well, obviously that's trash, right? Or like I put it in the place where all batteries go before we take them to the place where you throw away batteries. I might have been like, oh, I wanted to test that battery to see if it was gonna be good, and then if it had a little juice left in it, I was gonna whatever, save it. Okay, we're all very creative people. We might have done that. So what I want from you is to say, where would I look for a battery that I needed to test to see if it still had juice in it, and where would I look for that first? And then you take it there, and you take it there right away. And you might be like, I don't want to take it there right away. Well, if you're not wanting to take this battery to the place where you test batteries right away, this is now garbage, because the act of having to take care of it has told you that this isn't of value. Now, I got a pen. If I see a pen on the counter and I think, okay, where would I look for a pen? I got a pen drawer. I bring it right to the pen drawer, go to put it in the pen drawer. If it doesn't fit because there's too many pens, I think, okay, this pen's out, probably because I like it, probably because I use it, and that's why it's out. So what in the drawer do I need to take out to fit this pen I really like in? Is there a pen I don't like? And then I would take out that pen, maybe it's almost out of ink, maybe I just don't like the way it writes, maybe it's ugly because it's like a free pen and I don't like the way it looks, whatever. Put this one in, take that one out, throw it away. That way you've made a little progress in having less things, because in general, having less things is going to make it so that your house stays cleaner. But you didn't have to search, you didn't have to spend a whole bunch of time figuring out what to do with all the pens, because it's not about all the pens, it's about the pen that's always on the counter. Because once those surfaces stay clear, then you'll have the energy to start going into the drawers. So that's where we're gonna start. We're gonna start at the start. We're gonna start with the energy of release. We're gonna start with the energy of a fresh beginning, and we are going to start with the energy of the earth supporting us and moving us through to whatever the next step is gonna be. Thank you so much for joining me. It's me the end of today. Please subscribe. This is baby channel, baby channel, second week. So if you subscribe, it's really a huge deal to me at this point. Always, but like right now, I'm counting every single subscription and going, yes, I'm up to 10. Oh my God, it's amazing. So like really, truly making my life exciting. I have a form in the link in the description below for a free energy reading intuitive activation session. Now what that is it's a 1 hour session where we will talk for a few minutes. We'll get into your energy field and I can help you move huge things in short amounts of time. This is a pool. So I have a pool of applications. There are forms that have people's information. I will grab 1 to 5 per week and contact you the week before to schedule a session. So you may not get I'm not guaranteeing you will get a session. It's kind of a little bit like a lottery, but I will cap that when it's at 150 and I will stop accepting applications to the pool. So please fill that out now while there's still space. And I will be contacting people today for next week's readings, next week's sessions. So please do that and join me next week. I am just so thrilled that you are watching this and that I am thrilled for me that I'm doing this, because this is something that I've felt in my heart for a really long time. And here we go. We're at the start of something and I'm really glad that you're here with me. Mwah! If you have any questions, find me on other places, Threads, Instagram. You can email me. All my information's in the link in bio. So love you. Thank you. Do your best work and be so kind to yourself. You're an amazing, amazing person. And you deserve all the good things that you're going to give yourself. I'm just turning this off. I'm like, gotta learn to wait so I can end the video beautifully. See, these are the things. These are the things you have to learn when you're starting something new. It's not always pretty. Let's like come back to this in 3 years when I've been doing this for 3 years and like how gorgeous it's all going to be. And I'll be like, wow, I thought those were good quality back in, what year is this? 2026, but whew, those were rough.